Good day, grade 12 learners. Welcome to today's tourism lesson. My name is Evans Mabonya. This lesson is brought to you by the Gauteng Department of Education in collaboration with Saibono Discovery Center. You can chat with us if it happens that you have any queries during the discussions from this WhatsApp number, that is 079 578 2908. The WhatsApp number to raise queries for this lesson, you can dial 079 578 2908. Grade 12 learners, the topic for today arises from tourism sectors as the main topic. The subtopic for this lesson is entitled Professional Image in the Tourism Industry. Right, I want us to quickly look at the topic itself, unpack it, and see if we cannot preempt what is entailed in this topic. The first concept that we come across from the topic is professional. Professional suggests how employees or how workers should project themselves, should present themselves in any given work situation or work environment. The word image in the topic suggests the picture. The image, it tells what is inside you, and if you are able to execute the duties and functions that are allocated to you. So you have to draw a certain picture to the people you service. Now, where is this professional image? Where is this kind of behavior required? It is in the tourism industry. What is this industry? We are referring to businesses that operate and deliver tourism products and services to clients. So there are certain expectations that are required to people appointed or employed in the tourism businesses, that is the tourism industry. So I'm sure a lot of you would think a tourism industry, it's a firm, it's a big firm that sell tourism products. However, on the contrary, tourism industry refers to all businesses that operate in the space of the tourism, in the landscape of tourism. It renders tourism activities. It provides people with goods, products, and services, tourism related. Here we are referring to your transportation sector or transport businesses, the shuttle services, the bus services, the airline services that you receive form part of the tourism industry. From transport, you'd have accommodation, your hotels, your B&B, your youth hostels. Those are businesses that operate in the tourism industry. And there are so many others that I cannot mention now. And you know from your grade 10, those sectors that provides tourists with products, services, products and services. So you are aware of them, lest you go back to your grade 10 and look at those sectors and businesses that operate in the tourism industry. We are going to move forward, grade 12 learners, and look at what this topic entails. Firstly, let's look at where the lesson will be assessed. The lesson takes section D of your final examination question paper, and it is your question 7, and it is also assessed in question 1. You were assessed on this topic in the controlled tests that you wrote already, in the skills assessment task. The question was also assessed, or the topic was also assessed in the PET. And please mark this, the question will not be assessed in the preliminary examination, but it will be assessed for the first time in the final examination. So with the upcoming prelim examination, the topic will not be assessed, and your question 7 will be only tested on responsible and sustainable tourism, which we have covered earlier in the year. As we move forward, grade 12 learners, I want us to look at the objectives. The objectives are so much important for you because the questions that will be expected to answer during formal assessment will be derived from these objectives. These objectives, take them as a guide for where you will get your question during formal and formative assessment. Now, for this topic, as we finish discussing it, or at the end of it, you must be able to know, understand, and demonstrate the following. Firstly, you must know how the following aspects that I'm just about to list will contribute to professional image in the tourism industry. We have unpacked the concept of professional and the image from the topic. The factors that contribute to professional image, number 1, is the image of the company, such as the name of the company. For example, KFC. That gives you a picture of what commodities, of what kind of foodstuff you would expect. By seeing KFC, you would know that this is where I can buy my Streetwise 2. This is where I can buy my dunked wings. This is where I can buy different burgers. So the name portrays a certain meaning to you. The same applies to the logo, the slogan, the website, the stationery, the pens, as well as the kind of paper they use, the marketing material, the product packaging, the physical appearance of the business, the environmental policies, and the customer service policies. I've only alluded to the name of the company just to give you some sense as to what is yet to follow. We are still going to look at these concepts that I've mentioned the logos, the slogans, the stationery, the marketing material, one by one, as we move on with the lesson. So I'm going to explain what entails or what is entailed in the stationery, what is entailed in the product packaging, what is entailed in the logo to create that image, that professional image that we want. The image of the staff, such as the professional appearance, is one of the aspects that we'll look into. The uniform, the dress code, if no uniforms are worn, the personal hygiene, the grooming, the interaction with customers, as well as communication skills. Grade 12 learners, I'm going to explain all of these concepts, all of these items that are listed in these objectives so that you have a better understanding of what it means by professional image. Now, here is the question of the day. Will customers trust you or like you, buy from your company, or hire your business services because of the way you or your company look? Some of you, I can see you're nodding your head to say no. Customers will not buy from you. Some of you would say the customers are interested in the product, not the person who sells the product. But as we go through this and link it to tourism, we'll see how the customer react to the kind of product that you present to them, how you present to them, as well as how you package that for them. So the majority of you, I can see, have voted to the fact that, or have alluded to the fact that your appearance, your attitude, your confidence define you as a person. By merely staring at you, we can make deductions out of your appearance as to what kind of person are you. Right. On your screens, grade 12 learners, as you can see, it's a juxtaposition of two buildings that you need to compare. Two buildings are put adjacent to each other for you to compare and make your conclusions about the appearance. And I think after having analyzed, critically looking at these two buildings, you would be able to answer the question of the day. Will the customer trust this building? Will the customer like this building? If you were to be accommodated in this kind of building, you as an individual, will you like it? Will you like to purchase the goods and services that are rendered by this type of accommodation, a hotel like this? It's for you to answer. Now, let's look at the second building. What will you say about this one? Will the customers trust this building? Will the customers like this building? Will the people feel free and relaxed to be accommodated in this kind of building? It's for you to decide. Let's look into our right hand side and see the kind of people that render certain products and services to you as a client. Will you be able, by mere looking at the appearance of these people, will you be able to judge them? Will you be able to judge if they are organized, if they will give you full and satisfactory service, it's for you to judge. But I, as a person, I would not prefer to be accommodated in this kind of accommodation. I want to leave home, say I want to experience activities or tourism. I want to have a tourism experience referring to this where I have paid a money. Does it provide value for your money? As far as I'm concerned, I would say no. But this one, compared to this one on top, provides value for what I have paid for. Will this kind of a person who is not organized like this, whose table is not well organized, is not cleared of all these things, nasty things, will he give me satisfactory service as opposed to this one? No, definitely this person will not give me a good service. But by looking at the appearance of this top picture, you can see that these people value their work. These people would welcome you with a smile. These people have the capacity and potential to offer good service. Look at how clean they are. Look how neatly dressed they are to provide good service to customers. Grade 12 learners, please make that comparison, and it will help you to understand the concept professional or professionalism, what it entails. These people obviously will give you a professional kind of service. These people will give you a top class service that you would require. You would feel at home upon visiting their institution or the industry in which they operate in. Grade 12 learners, by looking at these pictures, that is your image, it will tell you at the level of professionalism that you must expect from the two hotel or accommodation establishment that are being presented to you here. Obviously, majority of us will prefer this type of accommodation, and majority of us will prefer to be serviced by this kind of people which live and act professionally. Let's move on. Grade 12, we are done with the big question of the day. As we move on with the lesson of objective, grade 12 learners, we have alluded to things like logo, slogan, and image. We have exhausted the question of the day, and now let us look at the concept professional. I've tried to explain what it means in the introduction of this lesson, right? But what is important for us to note is that tourism is a service industry. The product that we sell may not always be physical, may not be always tangible. Some of the service that we provide cannot be seen with the naked eyes, but can be felt. You can feel a service, but you can neither see it or touch it with a tangible hand. So by and large, tourism is service inclined. It's a service orientated industry. So that you need to always bear in mind. It has been proven that customers prefer tourism products that portray or that shows or display a professional image because people or customers believe what they see. So what you see, it's what you get. A lot of customers, a lot of tourists would believe in what they see, and definitely it's what they will get. Let's look at the image of the company, the picture that I've alluded to. So we have unpacked the concept of professionalism as to what a professional is. So if you are a professional, your C's and what you look like, how you look like, tells a lot about, of story about you. Now let's look at the image. The image is the picture that I said we create in the tourism industry that gives a customer clues if this company is reputable, is giving good quality service or not. By looking at the image, by looking at the picture that represents the company, then you'll be able to tell, oh, this is Spare Steak Ranches. So they would offer you great, tasty steak or great meals if you happen to visit them. Right. Grade 12 learners, a combination of thoughts, feelings, beliefs, opinions, and visions people have about the company and its product and services rely on the image, on the picture that represents the company. So examples of images, example of pictures that we use to identify business with are given on your slide. These are the pictures. Obviously, the first one represents Engine, and with the slogan, "With us, you are number one." There is Mango. It's a flight that existed in South Africa, offering cheap flights domestically, and it was a sub contract to South African Airways, and it was discontinued in 2021. It last existed in South Africa in 2021. So it is no longer operating as an airline in South Africa since 2021. The KFC, most of you identifies with. We have Avis, that is a car rental. It's a business that operates in the tourism industry. When tourists visit some places for distances that they cannot walk, they will rely on hired car. So Avis provide that service, that rental service. Spare is one of the formal restaurants that provides food and beverages to tourists. So it's Wimpy. So all these three are food and beverages industry, the transport industry. You can see a variety here in the airline, the road transport, as well as the supply of fuel engine, which runs a chain of garages in the country. That creates an image of the company. Grade 12 learners, let's now look or assess the factors that contribute to professional image in the tourism industry. These are some of the essential elements that make it possible for us as business operators in the tourism industry to be professional in our activities, in our services that we render to the tourists. Factors that contribute to a professional image in the tourism industry or company image are as follows. Here are your examples: the name of the company, the logo, the slogan, the website, the stationery, the marketing material, the product packaging, the physical appearance of the business, the environmental policies, as well as the customer service policies. These are your 10 factors that contribute to the professional image in the tourism industry. Please make sure that you internalize all these 10 factors that contribute to professionalism in the tourism industry. Grade 12 learners, the first aspect or the first factor that contributes to the image of the business in the tourism industry or to the professional image of the business in the tourism industry, we have alluded to the name of the company or the name of the business. People get to know a company's name and they learn to trust it or associate with poor service. So by seeing the name, it's either you associate it with good or poor service. And it is an important aspect in the decision making of a company, that of a client or of a tourist. By seeing the name, the tourist would say, oh, Ushak, no, they are good for offering a nice holiday experience. So this is something one can consider. Avis, no, their cars are sometimes of poor quality standard. They are not well maintained. So do you think a tourist, if Avis did not maintain their vehicles very well, they will book or want services from such a company? No, they won't. The same apply to Uber. The type of cars that you would order are they safe? Have they passed the road weight test? Or are just cars that may lead you to accident and road fatalities? No. If that is the case, then you cannot. So the name of the company speaks a volume in attracting customers to use their products and services. I hope grade 12 learners, you get the sense of the importance of the name or of the brand to the customers. So it helps customers to make informed choices as to whether they want the products sold by a particular company or not. By preference, some of you would prefer, if I were to give an example, would prefer burgers from Burger King to those that they buy from McDonald's. So upon seeing Burger King, already the customer identifies, oh, this is that shop, this is that establishment that sells big and tasty burgers. So the name of the company helps you to associate with it and to make that decision as to whether to buy or not to buy from such a business. The second one is the logo. Ladies and grade 12 learners, remember that Mango is no longer operating in South Africa, but this is how its logo looked like, and it was grounded since 2021. A company's identity is expressed by its logo. So this is the logo for the now defunct Mango, and the color thereof. Can you see the color? It's attractive, it's eye-catching. So the identity of the company is shown through its logo. So it must be attractive, it must be colorful. So at some stage during your PET, you were required to color some of the items to make them attractive. So color does attract the customer. The logo refers to a symbol or a trademark which is a recognizable feature of the brand or a company. It makes you recognize, it makes you identify with the company. So it is a symbol or a trademark that represents a particular company and makes it recognizable. The logo is used on most visible features of the company, such as uniform, stationery, marketing material, and signage. So some of the uniforms will bear badges that represents the logo of the company. Some of the stationery, like writing pads, like pens, like rulers, will have the logo of the company. The marketing materials, that is your brochures, your flyers, will also bear the logo of the company. And some of the signage, it might be road signage, where it shows you that this kind of a hotel is situated, or you drive for so many kilometers to reach this kind of game reserve or this kind of hotel. That you would also find the logo representing the business in question. Another factor that has an influence in creating a professional image of the business that operates in tourism is the slogan. A slogan refers to a short phrase that communicates a brand's core values. A slogan should be printed on all companies' promotional items, including its website, the stationery, the marketing material, as well as the merchandise. A slogan must be memorable and reflect the company's philosophy. As you can see, with Avis, the slogan is "We try harder." KFC, it's finger licking good. The steak ranches, it's a taste for life. Standard Bank, simpler, better, faster. Those are some of the slogans that help us to identify with a business that operates in the tourism industry. Great 12 learners. A slogan refers to that phrase that attracts people. So without seeing the name, without seeing the logo of the company, if someone just say to you, it's finger licking good, then you know they're talking Kentucky Fried Chicken. Without stating the name, the slogan can give you certain information about a business that operates in the tourism industry, and that it's professionalism at its highest level. The website. Grade 12 learners, this is interesting because you live in a period where websites work the most. You are born during the period of technology, so you know exactly what a website means. So a company's website is an important marketing tool when it comes to establishing its image. The website must be up to date, user-friendly, and well-designed. Grade 12 learners, this is an example of a website of the Radisson Blue Hotel located in the upper suburb of Johannesburg, that is in Sandton. So the website will take you through all the information, the type of rooms, what you need to know, the rates, the street map, and whatever information you need to know, how many rooms are available. So by just following on the link, you derive a lot of information from the website regarding the Radisson. You would also hear about people's experience. There is a section in the website where people rate the services rendered by this in their reviews. So to access the review, the customer's review, what people say about this website will come in handy. So it is one of the important factors that signifies the professional image of this hotel. So professional image, a website, it's one such factor that influences it in the tourism industry. The next one, or the next factor, is the type of stationery. Stationery refers to office supplies such as letterheads, the envelopes, the registration forms, the invoices, the notepads, business cards, and example of items that should be included in the company's stationery is the logo, the name, the address, the registration number, the telephone and fax numbers, and also its website and email address. As you can see, an example here of a business card for Mr. John Doe, who is a manager, and it shows all those personal information from the telephone line, the address, as well as the email address. This is just but an example of a company stationery in the form of a business card. So a business card is one other example of a stationery representing the professional image of a tourism business. The marketing material. Marketing material refers to all printed materials with information about a company's products, such as a flyer. It's one example of a marketing material, a brochure, maps, business cards, leaflets, fact sheets, postcards, posters, as well as videos about an attraction or about a tourism business. And all these aspects, all this information speaks to the marketing materials. These are materials that are used to market or to sell the products to the public. Marketing materials also include online marketing through website, newsletters, and social media. So your social media, it's your WhatsApps, it's your Facebook, it's your Instagram, and so forth. Grade 12 learners. So these elements, some of which we said are factors that contribute to the professional image. As you can see here, the website it comes time and again to provide us with information to rate a particular business as whether or not it is practicing or it is depicting professional image. Grade 12 learners, the product packaging, how the material or how the product is presented, it's crucial in creating the professional image of a tourism industry, of a tourism business. As you can see, so this is one of the packaging for South Africa's Cape Town. So upon seeing this picture, as you can see, this is how Cape Town is being packaged, where you would spend 5 days, including accommodation, activities in this place for 5 nights, 6 days. You'll pay only $1,350 US. So here they give you a full package of your tourism or of your travel experience. As you can see, the package includes, here they're saying breakfast. It's unfortunate, it's not visible enough, but the package also includes things such as accommodation, which include breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a shuttle from the airport to the hotel, as well as game drive just in the vicinity of the hotel. So it will take you to the seaside beaches, which forms part of the package. So product packaging doesn't mean a container that the product is packaged, but in the tourism sense, in the tourism perspective, when we speak of product packaging, we refer to different tourism products and services put together and sold as one item. So you can get a combination of transport, accommodation, food and beverages put together, and you are charged one price for that service in question. Grade 12 learners, that is your product packaging. It is not a physical package, but it's a basket including tourism activities grouped together from transportation, accommodation to travel to different destination, attraction entrances, and so stuff, charged at a single rate or at a single price. That is your product packaging. The next one is the physical appearance. We have alluded to this in the introduction as one of the factors that determines whether a tourism business operates in a professional way or not. The physical appearance, both the exterior and the interior elements of a company, also portrays an image. I have, in the beginning, put together the two types of hotel, the clumsy one and the good-looking one, and that left you with a mind or a thought to decide whether here will I find excellent service or not. Right, grade 12 learners, the exterior elements include the signage. Those are signs that direct you, say maybe to the reception, that directs you to the rooms, signs that direct you to the bathroom, whether this is a female or male bathroom. So the signage is also one important element of the physical appearance. Also the parking area, the landscaping, as well as the interior elements, which include design, the layout, as well as equipment. For example, windows must be clean, signage must be visible, and the decor must reflect the image of the company. Grade 12 learners, by looking at this picture, you can tell the level of professionalism exercised in these two companies that are represented here. This is an accommodation, and this is a flight center. So upon seeing at the physical appearance of a business, you are able to tell that this business is going to provide me with a professional and good service. Grade 12 learners, let's look at other factors. And environmental policy. Upon looking at this concept, environmental, now certain tourists, or most of the tourists, are sensitive to the environment. They are lovers of nature and need or take to protect the environment, or are against people who would harm the environment. As such, they study the environmental policy of a place or of an attraction they are visiting to, whether the business practice responsible environmental policies, which are aimed at sustaining the environment. So it is of customers' interest to analyze the environmental policy of a business. And from that, they are able to tell that this company fully subscribes to professional image. An environmental policy refers to a written statement that outlines a company's aims and principles with regard to managing or limiting the effect it has on the environment. So this is the policy that aims to protect or limit the impact that our services would have on the environment. So that policy is crucial as a factor that defines whether a company in the tourism industry is environmentally sensitive. A commitment to responsible tourism, conserving the environment, shows a positive and responsible image. So here is one of the aspects that further explains the professionalism in the tourism industry, that our actions as we conduct our business, are they positive to the environment? Are we treating the environment in a responsible and acceptable way? So that creates professionalism. Consumers are increasingly choosing to do business with companies that are committed to protecting the environment. So customers, which are the investors in the business, would want to see, are interested in knowing if the company is committed to protecting the environment. So this is what they would like to see in the environmental policy of the business in the tourism industry. So these are just but examples of such policies. As you can see here is the entire environmental policy. As you can see, the menus on offer here is the vegetarian menu. Eliminating paper from the conference program is one of the policies that they put in place. Electric taxi instead of ordinary taxis that are using petrol, which harms the natural environment, which pollutes the atmosphere and cause harm to the ozone layer. those are some of the defined policies with regard to how the business handle the environment. So this is one aspect that some of the tourists, some of the customers are interested in knowing whether you have this kind of policy, what actions do you take as a business to protect the natural and the physical environment. Bath and hand towels, it says, for example, dear guest, can you imagine how many tons of towels are unnecessarily washed every day in all the hotels all over the world, and monstrous amount of washing powder used, which can pollute our rivers and sea. Can you see that to some extent hotels are not being responsible if they have to wash their towels every day, the amount of soap used and the amount of dirt that is channeled to our natural rivers at the end of the day. Towels placed into bath or showers means please exchange towels, replace on the towel rail means I will use it again. So maybe from this hotel, one of the responsible actions towards the environment, instead of washing them, they allow them, they use them twice or thrice before they exchange. Grade 12 learners, as we move on, the customer service policy is the 10th factor that indicates professional image in the tourism industry. It says, contains a statement to a customer about the level of service they can expect. So customer service policy shows or it's a full commitment by the company indicating the kind of services they customers they offer to their customers, the standard that the customers can expect, the loyalty schemes that are offered, as well as the formal complaints procedures to be followed by the organization or the customer. Grade 12 learners, these are just but examples of commitment by some of the companies in the tourism industry showing the type and the quality of service that they can provide. It says, our goal is to provide a clean hotel with outstanding customer service for an unforgettable stay. So this is the commitment by this hotel as to the level of service that they will provide to customers. Grade 12 learners, some of the businesses will give the loyalty schemes. So you have this hotel which would categorize according to the number of visits, the number of visits of your visits to the hotel, then they will give you, say, a gold member club, which gives you discounts every day, every time when you book. So there are different kinds of discounts that you get by basically being a member of this establishment, and they will categorize you according to the three membership card, that is the gold, the silver, and the bronze. The bronze being the entry level, and in the middle you'd have a silver, and the top loyalty card would be the gold card. Grade 12 learners, this is equivalent to what it's offered by Pick and Pay in a smart shopper. When you buy, there is certain for a certain amount of money, they will give you back as a form of reward some of what you have spent into your cart, and you can use it once it has accumulated to enough cash that you want to use. Grade 12 learners, I want us to take a break for 5 minutes, and when we come back, we'll try and make conclusions on the remaining subsection of this topic. Remember, it is professional image in the tourism industry. Grade 12 learners, let us break for 5 minutes and we'll come to conclude this topic. Welcome back, grade 12 learners. Grade 12 learners, we're into the second part of our lesson. Grade 12 learners, if you happen to have questions on the topic in question, that is professional image in the tourism industry, please don't waste time. Just WhatsApp us on 079 578 2908. We'll do our best to address your questions, to clarify your misunderstanding in as far as this topic is concerned. Earlier on, grade 12 learners, we were looking at the 10 factors that constitute professional image in the tourism industry. We looked into a factor like a name of the business, the appearance of the business, where I have compared two pictures with you. We've also looked into aspects like the website, the logo, the slogan, the customer service policies, the environmental policies as aspects that contributes to the professional image of the company. I hope you have internalized all those aspects, all those 10 aspects, and you'll be able to explain each one of them. Let's move forward. Factors that contribute to professional image in the tourism industry: the image of the staff. Grade 12 learners, earlier on, with those 10 factors, we were necessarily looking at the business itself. We're looking at the business itself. Now, let's look at the factors that contribute to professional image by looking at the people who work in the business. We've looked into factors that affect the business image, and now we must look at the professionalism of the staff, of the people who work in the industry. So professional image in the tourism industry underlie the two concepts. One, the business itself, and there are 10 factors contributing to professional image by looking at the business and the activities within the business. Number two, it is the staff who have been delegated with responsibilities to render services in the tourism industry. And there are 7 categories that, or 7 factors that we need to internalize in as far as the staff conduct or the staff contribution into the professional image of the tourism industry. So insofar as the staff is concerned, we are going to look at the appearance of the staff members. Do they appear professional? We are also going to look at the issue of uniform. Is the business in which they work, or the sector in which they work, or the division in which they work of the business, are they required to be dressed in uniform or not? We are also going to look into the dress code in an event where a uniform is not preferred. We are also going to look into the aspect of personal hygiene. We are also going to look into grooming. We are going to look into the interaction with customers as well as communication skills. These are the 7 aspects that shapes a staff to produce professional image in the tourism industry. grade 12 learners. Professional appearance, as you can see, this staff that works in this company, the way they are appearing looks very professional, look attractive. You don't doubt that they contribute immensely to the professional image of this company. So by appearance, you are able to judge, you are able to make a professional judgment that these people can provide good and quality service. A professional appearance is a key to making a good impression. So how you appear gives a lot of impressions about you, good or negative. Creating professional image of yourself and your company. So when you look professional, you are not only doing it for yourself, but for the institutions that you work for. All staff who interact with customers must maintain a professional image. So the frontline staff, those who meet directly with clients, must be professional in their action. The issue of uniform. Uniforms are designed to protect the company's image. From a customer service point of view, uniforms are important as they help create a professional image. Uniforms usually have the company's logo on them, help also to make a good impression, first impression, make it easy to identify staff, and can indicate which department an employee belongs to. Uniform must be clean, neat, and well maintained. Here are the example. So with this one, you can see that this person is a chef, and he is not, he helps with the cooking, and you would always want to taste the food that this person must have prepared. Grade 12 learners, as you can see here, the type of uniform also different from this one. It represents a component or a department where these people work. And as you can see, they represent the executive or the management level of this institution. And in the case of a hotel, you'll say these are the executive staff. They are managers, supervisors, and so forth. But this one works to prepare meals for the clients. So this is the important aspect of a uniform in defining the staff of a particular company. The dress code. In other situations, formal wear it's advised. So it is important for people like managers to be dressed like this, or to top brass of the companies, they must wear, put on a formal wear in case they are not using uniform. So in some instances, some jobs are not so prescriptive as to the type of wear, and at least a casual it's required. And here you can see this one represents as a smart casual. So, and this one, it's a business casual. So the dress code differs from one job to another. Grade 12 learners, this is in the male categories, and in the female category, this is your casual, this is your smart casual, this is your business casual, and this is your business outfit, and this is the formal business. Depending on the nature of the business, these are different categories of wear, of dress code that businesses would advise its employees to put on. If employees are not required to wear uniform, they will still have to adhere to a dress code that specify what they may or may not wear. So if you are in the executive level, you cannot come dressed in a smart casual. You must lead the way, and you must lead by example. Having a dress code ensures that staff still looks neat, tidy, and professional, even though they aren't in uniform. So in some industries, they ensure that their staff are neat and tidy to execute the function. That is the dress code. As we move forward, grade 12 learners, there is a question of personal hygiene. So here they advise that employees should bath daily, meaning that personal hygiene, they should not come to work without having had a shower or a bath. So they must bath daily. And some personal hygiene also speaks to treating your hair. You must wash your hair regularly. One of the personal hygiene aspect, washing your hands, especially after using the bathroom. So you must wash your hands regularly. You also have to brush your teeth at least twice a day. You have to shave daily in some of the professions, and you must use a deodorant. These are some of the personal hygiene aspects that companies would advise their employees. So this also tells a lot about the professional image of the staff of a particular company. The personal grooming, grade 12 learners. This one speaks to for ladies who use makeup, you need to use appropriate makeup, remove our unwanted facial hair. Hair must be clean and dry. Keep a tidy hairstyle. Nails, trim nails regularly. Cut nails in shape. And with your feet, no cracked heels, no dirty toenails, no smelly socks. Grade 12 learners, with clothing, it speaks to well-fitting clothes, worn over well-fitting underwear. So these are the kind of grooming that is advised, and that has a significant impact on the professional image of the tourism industry. How you interact with customers, staff must always be polite, cautious to guests. Excellent service can enhance the customer image. Poor service will damage a company's image and business. So these are some of the interaction as portrayed in the picture. As you can see, everyone is full of smile, meaning that the staff is providing a good service to these customers, and customers are encouraged to do repeat business with or where they are fairly treated, where they are well served, they are likely to visit again. Whenever staff deal with customers, they are communicating, whether it is face to face over the telephone, in writing or non-verbally through body language, they need to exercise some courtesy. The way in which an employee speaks, present information in person or in writing or in their body language determines the impression that employees make personally and of the company. So the way you speak by writing in person or using body language represent or what the company stands for. Grade 12 learners, I want us to try and test ourselves on this topic. Remember, it's question 7. And as for the prelim examination, it's not necessary for us to study to prepare this because you will not be tested in the prelim examination. Only prepare. That is for Gauteng, for the Gauteng province. You need not study professional image as you prepare for the prelim examination, but it will be asked for the first time in the final examination. So it constitutes your question 7, and it says, let's look at the activity number 1. Study the car rental advertisement below and answer the questions that follow. Right on board, while on board an aeroplane, a passenger saw the 2 advertisements in the in-flight magazine. He plans to hire a car upon arrival at his destination. Right, let us look at the 2 sources. The first one being this one on top, and it says car rental company A. We charge the lowest daily rate in the industry, only 4,500 per day, simply the cheapest car rental. Let us look at source B. It's the name, it's Supreme Car Rental. And everyone working here will go an extra mile for you. The grade 12 learners, as we compare the 2 sources with the first one, we can see some elements of professionalism in the name of the company, the name of the business. Does reflect. Do you see any name here? There is no name. So how are you going to identify this company whereas it doesn't have a name? No contact details. And here, as you can see, they say call us on 086 765 9876. Before we can even get into the question, look at the stuff here, or look at the image or the logo here, which represents a vehicle. And look at also the slogan. Everyone working here is committed. So there are some elements that portrays professional image of the company. Here, there is no professionalism. The type of language used, as if 4,500 is 4.50 rand. They are saying only. So the kind of language used is not attractive to the customer. But this one would attract a customer to want to find more Here is the website indicated. So it has some of the elements, some of the aspects that are necessary to create professional image in the tourism industry. So before you can even get to question, you can, by comparing the two, you can predict the type of questions that may be asked. Now, let's go through the questions after analyzing the two sources that we were provided. Activity number 1, that is 7.1. So this numbering indicates to you that this, in the final examination, is assessed in question 7. So 7.1 says, identify the car rental company whose advertisement does not project professional image and a sense of trust and confidence to a prospective customer. That is allocated 2 marks. 7.2, it says, discuss 3 elements from the advertisement to support your answer to question 7.1. So as we looked into the 2 pictures, I've also highlighted the difference that we see between the 2 in the name of the company that is reflected, the appearance of the staff, as well as the contact numbers, as well as the slogan. Those are some of the 3 elements, and we refer to them as factors as we had a discussion on the topic. Excuse me. 7.3, some companies do not consider a professional image as important and concentrate only on profit. 7.3.1, discuss 2 negative consequences of such an attitude. That is allocated 4 marks. It's 2 facts, and you get 2 marks for each of the facts that we've mentioned. 7.3.2, referring to picture B, suggest 2 ways how the staff of Supreme Car Rental can contribute to professional image of the company. That is allocated 4 marks, 2 facts, 2 marks each. Let's look at the responses. 7.1, the answer to that is car rental company A, simply the cheapest car rental is not offering an attractive package, or it does not demonstrate professional image to the customer. 7.2, car rental company A does not project a professional image because the person in the advertisement is not professionally dressed in uniform normally associated with car rental companies. So in this branch, or in this sector, that is car rental, workers or employees are expected to follow a certain dress code. They are normally on uniform. An older model car with damages and is possibly not roadworthy, leaving the customer stranded. So the type of car that is on the picture, that is your appearance. It's not worth it. So it may not be roadworthy. So it is not projecting professional image in this type of an industry. The company is misleading the customer with false promises of value for money. The company's advertisement does not contain any contact details. So with any of the 3, you shall have responded to question 7.2. 7.3, we first look into question 7.3.1. Customers will support the opposition, that is in this case customers will support car rental company B. The negative word of mouth may result in fewer customers. So the appearance of the first car rental may turn away customers. Decreasing profit margins, loss of employees, possible closure of the business. These are the consequences of not projecting a professional image. 7.3.2, by dressing appropriately for work, delivering excellent customer service, by grooming themselves appropriately, acquiring excellent communication skills, being knowledgeable, participating in corporate social responsibility programs of the company, and that gives 4 marks, 2 in any order. Grade 12 learners, please join us on the 25th of September at 14:30 to 16 hours, when we will be looking at the prelim examination paper that is written on the following day, that is the 26th of September. Grade 12 learners, I hope you have had a wonderful session on this topic, and see you this time around on the 25th of September at 14:30. That is when we'll be doing the revision on the prelim and looking at the structure of the paper and giving techniques and strategies that you'll need to perform well in the prelim examination. With that said, grade 12 learners, have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you. Goodbye. See you on the 25th. Thank you very much.